What is up, everybody? And welcome back. Sorry my intros aren't as good as my guy on my right at Riley Burbach, which his basketball team, the Milwaukee Bucks, are now in the NBA Finals for the first time since I believe Kareem Abdul-Jabbar days. And also the Phoenix Suns got there as well, beating Andrew Oaks' beloved Los Angeles Clippers. So shout out to them. Burbach, how the hell are you today? Welcome back into Dunk Productions. Hope y'all had a good 4th of July. Hope you had a good time. Stayed safe out there with everything going on with the fireworks and all that. But Burbach, how the hell are you?
I'm great, Duenkel. Glad to be here. The Bucks are in the finals. Man, it feels good. Let me tell you, man, every single year they choke.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. It's so frustrating, and they finally did it this year. Majority, Chris Middleton. Middleton been balling.
And you can't overlook Brook Lopez too in Game 6.
Splash
33 points. So Burbach, we'll get to the Bucks in a minute here, but I want to start with you, and I want to start off with CP3. Chris Paul finally getting over the hump, making it to his first NBA Finals in his 16-year first ballot Hall of Fame career. I do truly believe Chris Paul is a first ballot Hall of Famer without question. I think his legacy this season was only solidified by getting this young Suns team to the NBA Finals. I was very impressed with him. But Burbach, what were your thoughts on the Suns and Clippers series? And what do you think this series has potential to do for Chris Paul's legacy?
Well, this could get Chris Paul his ring finally.
Yeah.
Which is crazy because he's never been able to get there, no matter what he's done, especially with the Clippers, man. Oh my gosh, that team's had some choke jobs.
Yeah.
So did his Rockets too. Shit. Right? Didn't they blow a 3-1 lead against the Warriors?
3-2. They blew a 3-2 lead.
Like that. Yeah, they were up.
But to be fair, in that series, Chris Paul did end up getting hurt in Game 5, and I think that really changed the complexion of that series. But
yeah.
Burbach, just what do you think? Like, where would you rank Chris Paul among all-time point guards? Would you have him in your top 5 today, or where would you have CP3?
5 or 6.
Yeah.
Something like that. Somewhere in that range.
Now, let me ask you, if he wins a title, does he jump one of those or two of those guys by winning a title with the Phoenix Suns this season?
Well, he would have to jump the logo and Oscar Robinson, probably. So I don't know. I don't know if it would push him over the hump for them.
Okay.
But I feel like he solidified himself as a top 5 point guard then of all time if he wins a ring now.
I would have Chris Paul number 5 on my list. I was talking to my buddy about this the other day. I would have probably Magic, Steph, Oscar. I'm gonna go bad boy Isaiah Thomas, Chris Paul. That'd be my top 5. I think Jerry West is 6th, only because I think, like, when you look at Chris Paul, he's taken so many bad teams to the playoffs and, gotten them to that point. I mean, heck, Burbach, when he was on the Thunder, they had a 2% chance to make the playoffs, and they were the 4 seed in the West, which is arguably probably the tougher conference in the NBA. Most people would argue. But Burbach, I wanted to ask you this too. There's been so much made of the Los Angeles Clippers, and how they kind of choked away the games last year against Denver, and now you come back this season. I thought I was very impressed with Paul George. I thought Paul George played very well. I think we need to start talking about Ty Lue as the best basketball coach in the NBA. I mean, when you look at what this guy has done over the past 4 or 5 years in his NBA career, it's been incredible. And a lot of people have been making this point, but I think it's time to throw Ty Lue's name into the conversation. I'm not saying he's better than Pop or better than Kerr, but I'm saying he's definitely in that conversation, especially when you look at this run without Kawhi Leonard. Burbach, what are your thoughts on the LA Clippers, and what do you think they do from here?
Well, your number one priority has got to be Kawhi Leonard because he's a free agent this summer, I believe.
Yeah.
You got to re-sign him. I mean, if he didn't get injured, the Clippers probably would have been going to the NBA Finals. I mean, I don't know if the way Paul George was playing too. He ain't pandemic P no more. Like he actually was playing very well. So
I think for me, like you said, Paul George and how well he was playing, is that because Kawhi wasn't out there? Because you've seen it with Paul George last season. He wasn't as aggressive when Kawhi didn't have it going. Um, are the Clippers better without Kawhi Leonard? I know that sounds probably insane to say, but Paul George to me looks better without a star next to him. He looks like, he has the freedom, he has the aggressiveness to be able to go out and drop 30, 40 points and get his team there. And when you talk about the Clippers too, you talk about a guy in Terrence Mann who I was very impressed with throughout the NBA playoffs. Do you think that it may be time for the Clippers to move on from Kawhi and vice versa, maybe Kawhi to move on from them?
I think so. I think you make a fair point with the Paul George thing. Like, he's finally able to take over his offense versus when he was in Oklahoma City with Russell. He obviously was like the second option there too. But they could sign like some shooters around Paul George. You know what I mean? Like
Right.
AJ Redick type of guy or something like that. Maybe go get a big man because he played really well with Roy Hibbert back in Indiana. Maybe.
Yep.
I don't even know who. Do you know any big men that are free agents this year? Or
I
free
mean,
agents?
I don't, but I can tell you this. I mean, there are big men out there that you could go get. I will say I think Zubac, if he continues to kind of develop, he could kind of turn into that Roy Hibbert role. I just don't know if he's big enough. I feel like he's a little bit on the smaller side, but I think if he continues to develop, that could be their big man for the future. Obviously we'll take a look as the season winds down at free agents and who we think will fit where. And we'll have a better idea at that time because there will be opt outs and free agents will change and all that. So it'll
Um,
be very interesting to see what happens.
some of the names that are free agents: like Cody Zeller, Serge Ibaka, who is on the Clippers, Danny Tice, Robin Lopez, Nerlens Noel, Hassan Whiteside,
Whiteside could be a good fit.
Mitchell Robinson, Taco Fall,
I think
Jared
think-
Allen, Dwight Howard, Bismack Biyombo, guys like that.
so. I think Whiteside or Allen would be a great like Roy Hibbert type player with Paul George. I think that would be good. I also think too. Um,
What if Boogie Cousins comes back and is that dude again?
he could be. He could be. That's another possibility. Burbach, real quick. We'll get to the Bucks here in a quick minute, but I want to ask you, man, Patrick Beverly, what is this dude thinking? Shoving Chris Paul down. It's almost like he
Did you see,
he couldn't handle losing, bro.
did you see he tweeted about it to Chris Paul?
He did. He sent out an apology, which was good. I thought it obviously. I think it deserved it. There's no place for that in the game of basketball. Um, you know, I've never seen something really like that in my years of watching and obviously talking about basketball. I haven't seen that often. And I thought it was a dirty play. Chris Paul could have got hurt. Um, you know, and then Frank Kaminsky. I don't know what the guy was thinking, man, but didn't have CP3's bag, bro. But Burbach, what were your thoughts on that Pat Bev play? Did you think it was dirty, or what are your thoughts on that?
I mean, it's obviously, uncalled for, and they've had prior history with each other before.
Yeah.
A little bit of beef going on there because they were traded for each other when Chris Paul got sent over to the Rockets.
Mm.
So, yeah, I mean, it was definitely uncalled for. No reason to just go shove Chris Paul.
Right. When I mean, I know Chris Paul isn't the most liked player in the league. Obviously, people don't like his antics always, but I think everyone kind of respects Chris Paul, and I was very surprised that happened to him specifically. But Burbach, now it's time to talk about your Milwaukee Bucks, who sent the Atlanta Hawks home packing in Game 6 the other night. Burbach, what were your thoughts on Game 6? What were your thoughts on the Bucks so far this season? And we'll obviously talk about the finals here in a minute and give predictions. But what were your thoughts on the Bucks in this series, especially playing games 5 and 6 without the Greek freak Giannis Antetokounmpo?
I think the role players really stepped up, like Bobby Portis. He played great when Giannis was out. Yes, he played great. Chris Middleton starting to actually know how to shoot the basketball in the playoffs.
Yes, sir.
Drew Holiday, I think, is a little bit more frustrating player for me to watch because every single player on the Bucks is inconsistent. But Drew Holiday, has no jump shot whatsoever, which I can't believe how well it works because it's like the same thing as Eric Bledsoe, almost. Like he knocks down a three here and there when he's wide open. But, I mean, I'm happy to be in the finals. That's all I'm going to say, Duenkel. That's all I'm going to say. It's at least it's not a Mickey Mouse ring.
First off, it wasn't Mickey Mouse ring last year. Everyone was dealing with the same circumstances. It just happened to be in Orlando, Florida, where Disney World is, where Mickey Mouse resides. He lives there, hangs out at my Magic Kingdom and Epcot and all that all day long. How you doing? Keep it moving. No Mickey Mouse ring. But here's the thing. I am happy, for the Bucks. They're a small market team. They, like you mentioned, Burbach, they have choked. They have choked many times throughout the past couple of years. Up 2-0 against Toronto.
Raptors and Kawhi Leonard showed us why he's Kawhi Leonard and clamped Giannis.
Yeah. And I mean, you look at last year too. I thought the Bucks and Lakers were really on a collision course to be in the finals last year, especially with the way both teams were playing leading into the bubble. And obviously the Heat, they got sent home. The Heat beat them, but I'm happy for Milwaukee. I'm obviously happy for you, bro. I know you're a big Bucks guy. And we'll see what happens here in the finals. But I was very impressed with Brook Lopez, man. Brook Lopez, Bobby Portis, those guys stepped up. And I said before Game 4, I said, Game 4 could be a trap game for the Bucks. Could be one they lose because no Trae Young, and then obviously me and you I think could agree on this, Burbach. Even before Giannis got hurt, the Bucks were probably going to lose that game. They were down 22, 23 points. I don't think they would come back and win.
Make a little bit of a push before Giannis went down, but I mean, you don't know what could have happened, whatever.
Yeah, and then obviously Giannis with the scary injury, which thankfully doesn't look to be as serious as they were making it out to be before. We'll see. No real update on his status for tomorrow night. We'll obviously cross that bridge when we come to it. Probably tomorrow. We'll figure something out from Sharms or Woj or someone like that. Mark Stein, who knows. But I was very impressed with the Bucks. I thought, Atlanta really punched back in Game 4, and I thought once Giannis went down, I thought that they were just kind of going to fold and give the Bucks credit. They hung in, they took the blow in Game 4, and then they came punching back with a vengeance in Game 5, and then give them credit Game 6. Trae Young obviously in Game 6, I don't think he should have played. Didn't look right to me.
You could tell he was nursing that sore ankle.
Didn't have that same explosion that we usually see out of Trae Young, which honestly, it sucks that Trae Young and Giannis, missed. Trae Young missed 3 games. Giannis missed 2 of this series because I thought it was going to be really fun and entertaining to watch these 2 guys kind of go at it when fully healthy. But give the Bucks credit; they made it, and now they're taking on a really good Suns team, very talented, which starts tomorrow, 9 Eastern on ABC. Burbach. How are we feeling about the NBA Finals, man? What is your prediction for the NBA Finals, and who is your Finals MVP, man?
Bucks in 6. Chris Middleton, MVP.
Okay. Let me ask you this.
Giannis is going to have to play the whole series, I think. And for him to win MVP, I mean, Chris Middleton, that could be just complete shot in the dark. Giannis could average 40 in the finals, and I look like an idiot. But because I don't think there's a person that can guard Giannis on the Suns. So, I mean, who's big enough that they have, Ayton's not going to guard him. I don't think he's athletic enough.
The one thing is Ayton could keep him from the rim. That's my only concern.
Mm-hmm. Which is why Chris Middleton's going to have to shoot good. I mean, he's going to have to be the two-way player he was last series. He's going to have to clamp up on D-Book and
which ain't an easy task.
No.
So Burbach, you got Suns in 6, Middleton MVP.
Suns in 6.
I mean Bucks in
6.
Sorry, bro.
I said the Bucks were winning the finals 3 series ago, and you and Jake laughed at me.
Here's the thing, okay, is that I didn't think they would. I didn't think they'd beat the Nets fully healthy. That's what I thought. I picked the Nets in 7, and obviously I was wrong. Jake picked the Nets in 5, and that's still my favorite thing ever is when you went Nets in 5, right, Jake? That's the funniest thing ever. Burbach, man. I've been thinking long and hard about this, man. I've kind of, I'm not gonna say I've turned into a Suns fan, but I've almost been rooting for my man Chris Paul. I hope he wins it. Obviously, I'm good either way, whoever wins it. I didn't want the Clippers or the Nets to win it if it wasn't the Lakers.
In the Western Conference, I've been kind of cheering for the Suns to make it. This is the series I wanted to see.
Yeah. And obviously once the Lakers went out, the Suns was kind of the team that I picked that okay, I'm going to root for them. I'm a Chris Paul guy. So I'm gonna stick with the Suns because I've been picking them, all throughout the playoffs after they lost to the Lakers. I'm going to say Suns in 7. I think this is going to be a long, hard-fought series. I think for me, I don't know if Giannis is going to play tomorrow. But I think either way, I think the Suns will take game 1 Tuesday night. I think this will be a long series. I think it'll be a great series. And Finals MVP, I'm gonna go Chris Paul. I think if the Suns win it, he's got to play big. It'll be interesting to see the matchup of the guards. I'm really looking forward to that. You have Holiday and Middleton and Booker and CP3. I'm excited to see how that matchup plays out as this series goes on. But Burbach, what is the key, do you think, to this series? What's the key thing you're looking for in this series?
Giannis being healthy.
Okay, Giannis being healthy.
I mean, what? There's nothing else really to say. I mean, we need to shoot well, obviously, but Giannis's health is probably one of the bigger things. Because, I mean, even though we beat the Hawks without Giannis, I don't think we can beat the Suns without Giannis. I mean, I think that's just too tough of a task for them to put it together for a whole series versus a couple games. And Giannis, that winning Game 6 was huge for the Bucks because it gave Giannis that extra day or two of rest.
Yeah.
That he wouldn't have got. But
so Burbach, let me ask you this. I also agree. I think Giannis's health is the big key in this series. I also think Chris Middleton. Middleton's gonna have to play great offensively and defensively for the Bucks to win this series. Can he repeat it? I think he's talented enough too. I just want to kind of see what he can do. So Burbach tomorrow night, Tuesday. Who do you have taking game one, Bucks or Suns? Who you got game one?
Suns.
Suns. I have the Suns as well.
I think it's gonna go. I think they're gonna split. I think the Suns are gonna win one. I think Milwaukee's gonna win both games at home. Go back to Phoenix, they lose, and then Milwaukee closes it out at home in 6. Oh wait, no, wait, yeah. Milwaukee would have 6, right? Yeah. It's in Phoenix.
Yeah, they're not doing the. You like this finals format where they go 2-2 and then 1-1-1, or do you like the 2-3-2 better? What's the better finals type?
I like the the players might not like it, but I like the 1-1-1 because it's gonna start to go back and forth, and you're just, you know what I'm saying? Like I don't like having like 3-game stretch in a row for the other team.
Yeah. I'll tell you this, dude. I remember those days. LeBron was on the Heat. That was freaking wild, dude. I used to be all things Heat, bro. Literally.
I know.
Now I'm all things Lake Show. Although I will say, honestly, either way, as a basketball fan, I think people will be happy because Phoenix hasn't won in so long, Milwaukee hasn't won in so long. Either CP3 or Giannis are going to get their first ring. I think there's a lot of good in this series and a lot of interesting type matchups. Burbach, I think this could be the series though that the Bucks really missed Dante DiVincenzo.
Oh yes, that's literally what I was going to say. I think if we had him, our bench would be like getting so much more credit too because I think he would really step up.
Well, Dante was very good in the Final Four and national championships games at Villanova. So he's a big time ball player. I think this is the series where they might miss him a little bit, and that's another kind of thing to look out for as well. Is can the Bucks bench keep up their same contributions even when Giannis comes back? Because if they can, I think the Bucks have a really good shot of winning the series. But Burbach, I'm really excited for the finals. Starts on Tuesday. I'm sure you guys will be hearing a lot from us on the series, about the series, all that. I'm sure we'll hell, maybe we do a live after the finals is over and talk about it or something like that. You guys let us know down below. Burbach, comment question of the video. What do you got?
Who's your finals MVP? We'll have that.
Yeah. I got Chris Paul. You got Middleton. I think it'll be a great series. Burbach, thank you for coming on. Thanks for talking.
Wait. I got one more thing to say. I forgot. I thought I was going to say this to you because I very much dislike the Cubs. 8.5 back, baby.
Really?
Milwaukee.
Really? Burbach, you gotta do that to me. Come on now.
I see all these people saying Wrigley North on their Snapchats. I don't want to see none of it. Okay, because as of late, it's been AmFam South, Miller South, and Wrigley, and the Brewers have run the series lately. Ever since the World Series playoffs, freaking other than you guys winning the division, but we ended up beating you anyways in the playoffs, so that's all right.
Burbach, you realize that when the Cubs come to town, there's probably 60 to 70% Cubs fans. That's
That
why it's called Wrigley North, not because
yeah, because they buy all the tickets.
yeah. Well,
Because it's
and a lot of Cubs fans live in Wisconsin. You know
yeah,
this.
freaking
Me and Jake Mueller are Cubs fans.
yeah. I know you two are Cubs fans.
Shout out Jake Mule, man. He's on his boat today.
Every-
He's great. He's greatly missed, but it's good. Me and Burbine got this. We held it down for y'all. But we hope y'all had a great 4th of July. We hope y'all continue making every moment matter, and I'm sure you guys will hear from us more. Also, a couple scheduling notes. Look out for Hockey Talk with Dylan Griffin probably this week or next week. Gonna try and get that scheduled. Player Spotlight, episode 2. Michael Thomas is coming. Burbach's girlfriend, AC, nominated Michael Thomas to be on our Player Spotlight series, so we're going to do that. And we'll be talking about NBA Finals, and then after the NBA Finals, Burbach, you know what time it is, man. It's NFL season. NFL
the
season.
year. It's Christmas.
It's Christmas in September.
Hard Knocks is going to Dallas.
How do you feel about that? How do you feel about that?
That's awesome. Dak Prescott, dude. That's awesome.
Yes, sir.
We get to see
Burbach.
Dak Prescott basically come back to fantasy god form.
Yes, sir. Burbach, you excited for the Michael Thomas Player Spotlight, man?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yeah. Also, if you guys have any players that you guys want to see on that, Burbach, even if you have a suggestion, let me know. But we'll talk to y'all later. Y'all have a great rest of your day, and peace out.
Adios.